immediately called it the danger, alert reaction here.
But I need you to help me because I'm gonna tell about you now.
And then the yelling starts, and all of this is really funny in a way, but it's a lot of stress for an awkward teenager. What? Could you please stop at the intersection? Hello internet, this is Irina, the Siberian who's gone international. Today I decided to tell about the small things which have shocked me when I just moved to Finland or when I was coming here just as a tourist. The problem with this video is that when I was walking down my memory lane trying to recall the things which have impressed me, well, back then they were impressive, but nowadays, thanks to globalization, a lot of countries have them, including Russia, so if I would move now, I wouldn't be shocked. Anyway, I think for some people it will be interesting to find out what has surprised baby Irina from Russia when she has stepped on the Finnish ground for the first time in her life. So, let's begin. So, the first time I came to Finland, I was around 9 or 10. I came as a tourist to visit my grandparents, and the process of buying fruits and vegetables has really fascinated me. Back then in Russia, if you needed to buy fruits or vegetables, you would either go to the market, you know, the real open market under the sky or maybe under some cover, where you walk from one seller to another, buying whatever you need from different people who waited for you. Or alternatively, you could go to the shop, find the fruits and vegetable section and point to the seller, what do you want, and they would wait it for you and tell the price. But in Finland, they already had these huge supermarkets where you can just come, pick whatever you want, and then every product has a number assigned, and then you put it on the scale, press that number, and that machine prints out a sticker for you with the final price and a barcode, which is later used by the cashier. And oh my god, pressing those buttons was the highest form of entertainment for me. I would never miss a trip to the shop just so that I could press those buttons. Though I think we were taking turns with my cousin sometimes. So yeah, that was one of the things which truly blew my mind, but now it's pretty widespread everywhere. Okay, filming just got 10 times more difficult because this guy, he really doesn't want to get YouTube famous. You don't, right? Because he sabotages every my attempt to film him.
But I need you to help me because I'm gonna tell about you now. Could you sit for a sec?
Okay, I'm using the secret weapon. This should keep him there for a while. So, the next point which has surprised me is the price of the animals taken from the shelters. Russia has quite a big population of homeless animals and the shelters are really overloaded, and they're run by volunteers in constant search of funding, and I think they live mostly on donations, so it's not really rare. I mean, at least in my childhood it wasn't rare to bump into a homeless animal on the street, or sometimes they would even show up at your staircase and people would start giving them food and they would camp there for a few days. And that's actually how my brother got his cat. He just found the kitten in his staircase and adopted him, and that kitten has lived with him for the next 13 or 15 years. So in Russia there is a huge excess of the homeless animals and the supply really exceeds the demand, so the volunteers can be really picky. I mean, they do check you, they ask you to fill out the questionnaire, and they don't give out the animals to kids, but in general, if you want to adopt someone from a shelter, you get that animal for free. While in here, well, when the cat that has immigrated with us from Russia died, my parents have decided to take an animal from a shelter, and yeah, this furry ball of rage is from a shelter. And guess how much did this furry butt cost them? Well, 80 euros. Actually, it turned out to be 100 because the shelter didn't have a change. And then my mom didn't want to be cheap and she wanted to help the shelter, so she actually gave them 100 euros and some bags of cat food as well. I think it's a good practice because it kind of gives some sort of guarantee that the animal is taken seriously and it's not a toy for the person who takes it if they're ready to pay for it. So yeah, in general, I think it's a really good practice. But I think even nowadays, if you tell someone in Russia that you have paid 80 euros for a guy from a shelter, that would surprise quite a lot of people. Though mostly internationally Finns are known as the sauna lovers, I think they should also be known as the mold exterminators. I was really surprised how seriously the mold is being taken here. So, if it's discovered that a school or some other public building has a mold in it, it immediately causes the danger, danger, alert, alert reaction here. The school gets closed down, the floors get opened up, dried, replaced, the foundation is being sprayed with some really strong chemicals. I don't know all the technical details, but it is a very major and costly renovation. And from what I've seen, quite often it fails. Well, mold is really difficult to get rid of. I think sometimes it's actually easier to just destroy and rebuild. Nevertheless, these mold extermination activities still take place really often. I think in most countries mold is just basically ignored. I remember when I was living in the UK, the mold was basically a full-fledged housemate of mine. The fifth one in our house. And I remember I was even joking that, hey, maybe I should import a few Finns here to deal with it, because apparently it is inbuilt in their DNA to fight mold. Another thing I truly admired were all these life hacks which spare you talking to strangers. Back in Russia, back in the days, whenever you would come to a place with the queue, let's say to a polyclinic or a bank or a post office, you would have to come in front of the whole line and be like, who is the last one here? Then somebody would say that they are, and you'd be like, okay, so I'm after you. Then another person comes and asks, who is the last one in the line? And you're like, yeah, it's me. Then this person has to step away, but then they ask you to stay their spot. Then someone else comes and you're like, well, I'm not the last one, but the woman who is after me, she is the last one, but now she has stepped away, so you're gonna be after her. And then some misunderstanding happens, and then the yelling starts, and all of this is really funny in a way, but it's a lot of stress for an awkward teenager, especially to do it in a foreign language. So I really appreciated that in Finland you just come, you press the button, you get your number, and then you silently wait for that number to appear on the screen. And then it means that it's your turn to walk into the doctor's office, to send a package, or to go and explain to the bank clerk that even though it was your credit card which was used to buy the full series of Twilight books, but it wasn't you who did that, you would have never fallen that low. Also, here, if you want to stop a bus, you have to press the button. In Russia, the buses, they either stop at every single stop, whether people need it or not, or you have to be like, hey, Mr. Driver, could you please stop at the intersection? What? Could you please stop at the intersection? Where? Never mind, I'll just walk this 5 kilometers. And then I remember what did surprise me in school was this sport called salibandi, and I've literally never heard or seen it before, neither in real life nor on TV, but in Finland it is really popular, and I think every school, I don't know if they have teams, but they definitely play it really often. And today I found out there are tournaments, and now out of curiosity I went to Wikipedia to just check how is it called in Russian, and it's called Floorball, so it's a word taken directly from English language, and I've literally never, up to this day, I've never heard this word used in any Russian dialogue or a speech or a movie or in a TV or like anywhere. And I think that salibandi is still pretty unique to Finland. I mean, I haven't done a proper research, but I've never seen it in any other foreign country. And I used to study in the UK university and they definitely didn't play it. They had their own weird types of sports. So these are the things which have surprised me. If you also have immigrated to Finland from another country, let me know what has surprised you. If this video has entertained you a little bit, you can express your thank you by clicking the like button and subscribing to my channel if you want to see more of them. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Give kids and they do not give the animals to kids, but oh Боже. Oh my gosh. Окей. Окей. Ну все. Спасибо. Иди.